Hi. So earlier today, I made a string of videos. I made kind of one talking about my hometown, and then I made another video kind of talking about some of my childhood and feeling my dad's temper and the violence and stuff. And then I made a video about sex, and it was 20 minutes long, and I was very in depth. And as I sat and I thought about it, and kind of what are the benefits of going so in depth on a video that is meant for me, but also meant to help other people. And I think about it, and I think that in some ways, sharing that video might help. Might help. I think I come to some really big realizations that that are important. I can still talk about them here. So I mean, just um, I was sexually active around the age of 7 or 8 with boys and girls in the neighborhood and in my life, and there was a lot of experimenting. There was a kid that was older than I was named Matt, who I kind of learned from, and the relationship that we had was very like a friend who was older, who showed me these things that I thought were kind of fun or normal. And then basically he told other people that I was a faggot, and I got harassed, even though now in modern, if I was a little bit older, I would have known to say something like, I remember you getting your dick played with by your little sister. And then maybe he would have shut the fuck up. But I didn't think of it at the time. It left me kind of I changed school districts between third and fourth grade, and that came at the perfect time because I was getting chased home a lot from school and stuff like that. Um, I don't know which video I'm going to share, so I'm making this video as a backup in case I don't choose to share the other one. I don't know which is more beneficial. I'm trying my best not to edit myself because that was the whole purpose of this was to speak my truth and let it be out there and to feel lighter from it and to help other people possibly also have the same relief or to find comfort in what I'm saying or just to be relieved by such openness. But I'm also not sure if it's always beneficial. So I think that some of the things that I could say in the that I said in the video before, um, some people might not know. Some people are still in my life and might have forgotten about those memories. One thing that I talk about in the video is kind of I'm not ashamed of what happened because I'm who I am today and I'm very happy with who I am today. But something that does bother me a lot is being sexually active around 7 or 8 and experimenting with kids my age who are much more naive than I was, um, and who didn't know about that, and I exposed them to that. I think the ripple effect is what really bothers me here. Is if I was not so forward and pushy at that time, would these people have never had that experience in their lives for many years more to come? I can't say. Um, that's something that I struggle with that one. I also told a story in the video in which I do think I can talk about here in that you know there was a time there was I remember one time when my dad was with the neighbor Lola, and there was my aunt Chris was living with us at the time, and she had a girlfriend named Sherry, and then my dad's friend was there and his girlfriend, and the six of them had almost like a sex competition that night. I don't know the rules or anything. I just know that my aunts went upstairs to have sex. I know that my dad went into his room with the neighbor, and they were behind like a dividing door that was very not soundproof, so it was not very discreet. And then the other friend was very drunk and passed out on my actual bed, and I had was helping his girlfriend try to wake him up. So I was like walking on him and popping pimples on his face, and we were really trying to wake him up to kind of initiate that. I don't know why I was present at that. I don't know why I knew what was happening. That bleeds into the next day where I mentioned this in the story about how I walk into the room, my dad's room, and there's like porno mags everywhere, and there's a dildo on the floor, and I pick it up, and this huge rubber dildo is like flopping around in my hands, and my dad screams at me to put it down, and I put it down and run. Um, I why would a child, or why would I be exposed to that? I don't know. So I mean that kind of shows how it bleeds into um, my dad worked third shift, so he was always asleep during the day, and that was when I got into most of the trouble. And I was hanging out with older kids who were showing me things that were not for my age group, and then I was kind of bringing it back to kids in my age group. None of that is normal, and I was very detailed in the previous video. I don't know if I need to be that detailed to feel better because I already said it out loud and I recorded it, and it was important for me to do so. But I think maybe it will do more harm than good by releasing it publicly like that. So this is just a backup video that touches on those main things. Another thing that it kind of talks about a little bit is, and it's something that I think I have to probably address on a bigger scale after, is just how that kind of influence of sex in my life at a very young age has kind of played out throughout my life. Um, because of being exposed so young, I was very promiscuous in high school. Um, into college, I was very like that was more exciting for me is was to do those behaviors and to be destructive a little bit when it comes to that. There, at my lowest point, which I will touch on another time, but I hooked up with 3 people in 36 hours. It's not like a happy moment for me. It was actually a really sad moment for me. But I think my sexual behaviors of my past, all the way up to present day, are still influenced by the fact that I was just exposed so young to these things. It's also a part of the reason, and I address this in the video, and it's something that I've never talked about, especially on a public platform like this, but um, I hit on a lot of my guy friends, a lot of my straight guy friends, and it's not appropriate always. And most of them are really cool about it and kind of laugh it off, but I think some I'm in the past I've been very aggressive about. And I think that's only because every relationship with a male my age in the past has had sex tied to it in some element. And so I think that without really analyzing it, I was just kind of doing behaviors that were becoming routine and pattern for me. Um, but when I really think about it now, it's like, yeah, I should be able to have male friends in my life that I don't want to fuck and that I don't need to see their penis or I don't need to hit on them when I'm drunk. I'm quite ashamed of those things, and I don't talk about them because I'm afraid of probably. Well, I know I'm afraid of accepting responsibility for it and hearing what they might think about me. At this point now, I'm really doing like hard, deep work, insightful work of myself, and I feel like I'm in a really good place. Not to say that I'm perfect, but I think that I'm willing to talk about those things and accept responsibility and even handle criticism if it comes my way about it. It's something that if I've ever done that to you, I'm sorry. I probably should have done this kind of work a lot sooner, and I probably would have thought about it in a lot different manner. Hearing it myself talk about it out loud, I can see the problems and where it stems from, and kind of like direct cause and effect. And that awareness, once it's one thing to be ignorant, it's another thing to kind of make these connections and then backpedal. And I don't plan to do that. I plan to kind of accept responsibility for what I've done, apologize to those who might have felt a certain way about me in the past, and from here on out, promise to do better and make that my goal. I'm going to cut this video off here because, again, I might, for the third time, choose to edit. I think that I maybe eloquently said some things about certain situations in the previous video, but I'm not sure, again, how much benefit will come out of this video or that video. So I just want to be really transparent because I think it's important as I'm doing this work for everyone to know that, this is just me talking. This is very genuine. I'm coming to these realizations kind of on camera as I talk about them out loud. So it's really important for me, for sure. But I also think that as a viewer, that there's probably something beneficial in hearing. I don't know, so much of our lives are so edited, and we're so scared to be completely open, to show people all elements of ourselves, um, out of fear of being exposed or discovered. And for me, I've made peace with a lot of this. So it sloughing off this dead skin, it's just extra skin that I've been carrying. I think that, yeah, I just think that it's just important to be really transparent. And I lost that train of thought somewhere. Like I said, this is like the fourth video I've made today. So, anyways, I hope that this somehow makes sense, somehow is coherent, and some version of this will make it to you. And it will be very, I'll disclose like which video I'm posting, if it's the first video or if it's the second take, like it is now. I was talking about fully realized people. Yes. I think that, yeah, we're just afraid of opening up in this world, and I don't think that that's the way forward. I think that being really open is just a really positive thing, um, in growth. So anyway, I'm probably gonna make a third video that takes what I was saying in this video, combines it a little bit with the stuff in the first video, and is much more eloquent. So we'll see what happens. But if not, enjoy. See you next time, and thanks for watching.